In today's video, I'll be going over a hidden PlayStation Plus title for you PlayStation 4 owners. Everybody is missing out on this game, and I missed out on it for a little bit. It's a PlayStation 3 game that's actually cross-buy with the PlayStation 4. A user on Reddit pointed it out. I always told you guys to download all of the games that are available. However, this game you can play right now on your PS4, so I'll be highlighting that. Also, we finally got the official announcement of the Hitman HD Enhanced Collection. Hitman Blood Money and Hitman Absolution will be coming to the PlayStation 4, and while that's very exciting, they're gonna look and play better than ever on consoles. The one downside is this collection is absolutely insanely priced, and this is a Warner Brothers published collection, and they overpriced the Return to Arkham collection, so this really isn't all too surprising. Also, an analyst is saying that we might be seeing Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order release this year. Now, if you guys don't know, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is being done by Respawn, the same guys that have brought us the Titanfall games, so the idea of Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order being released in the same calendar year seems a little bit far-fetched. However, one analyst thinks it might be happening. Also, the Dreams beta signups for the closed beta are live right now, so sign up for that. We've also got some details on The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer, and lastly, we have a pretty interesting game coming to PlayStation VR in February, so I'll highlight that at the end of this video. First up, for all of you PlayStation Plus subscribers out there, I want to let you guys know that Amplitude is also available on the PlayStation 4. This was a game that no one promoted. I didn't even realize there was a PS4 version of this game, but Sony didn't promote it. They didn't mention this as a cross-buy title, but if you go on over, you can get this game as a PS4 download as well. And what is Amplitude? Well, it features a single-player campaign presented as a 15-song sci-fi concept album with a narrative that surfaces through the game's visuals, music, and lyrics. Looks to be a pretty interesting game, and I think it's a game that a lot of you guys would be interested in checking out. Unfortunately, nobody really promoted the fact that on PlayStation 4 you can play this game. It was promoted as a PlayStation 3 title, but I know a lot of you guys either don't have a PS3 anymore, maybe you never had a PS3, or maybe your PS3 is down locked up in your garage and you have no intention of bringing it back out. Well, you can check out Amplitude on your PlayStation 4 as well, so I thought I would give that a mention because so many of you guys missed out on it. This was highlighted by Reddit user MapleStoryPSN, so I want to give credit to him because that's where I first noticed it, but now everyone's starting to realize it is a cross-buy title and it'll give you the PS4 version as well, so I thought I would note that. Moving on from that, we've got some bittersweet news. The Hitman HD Enhanced Collection has been announced. Yes, Hitman Blood Money and Hitman Absolution are coming to the PlayStation 4. That's super exciting. Hitman Blood Money was a terrific game, and I thought Hitman Absolution was also very underrated. Now, what's coming with the Enhanced Collection? Of course, both games, but they're gonna look and play better than ever. Specifically, 4K visuals at 60 frames per second, increased texture resolution, upgraded texture format, super sampling, upscale support, heightened shadow map and mirror resolutions, improved lighting, and updated controls for a more fluid experience. Now, again, I don't really have to sell you about the quality of these games. Hitman Blood Money and Hitman Absolution are both really good games, however, they are very old games. So if you're compiling these two games in a collection, what are you expecting the price to be? Could it be $39.99? Ideally, I would like to see a $29.99 price point. No, as Warner Brothers always does with their collection, it's gonna be released at a full $59.99. That is absolutely ridiculous. If you remember, they did the same thing with the Batman Return to Arkham collection, but this is even more outrageous because at least that collection had Batman Arkham Knight and all the downloadable content, and that was a more recent game, and it had 3 games opposed to this collection's 2, but this collection is still being released at $59.99, and nobody's really making a gigantic fuss about this. It's because the price isn't really being all that publicized, but Warner Brothers did come out and say directly, hey, yeah, this is going to be coming out on January 11th, and it's going to be priced at $59.99. Now, should you buy it at $59.99? Absolutely not. Look at the Warner Brothers titles that have been released recently. They go on sale rather quickly. Look at Hitman 2. That game was 50% off within a month after its release. So yes, it's being released at $59.99. I think that's an absurd price point, but you should not be buying it at launch. Wait a couple of months and I imagine it'll go on sale rather quickly. It's just absolutely absurd though to release the game at this price. I think the MO now is, hey, let's release these collections, and then when a PlayStation Store sale does start, we can be like, oh, the game's 50% off at $29.99. Now's the time to buy it. But even initially, you overpriced the game to begin with, so that's something I just needed to point out. I imagine not a lot of people are going to talk about it, but the pricing for these remasters are getting a little bit crazy. You saw it with Burnout Paradise Remastered, you saw it with games like Dragon's Crown Pro, and now Hitman HD Enhanced Collection, $59.99 for Blood Money and Absolution. Absolutely insane. But that's my 2 cents on that. It's not like me talking about it at this point is going to change the price of it at launch, but me talking about it could enlighten you guys and hopefully let you guys know that it's probably going to go on sale rather quickly, and you shouldn't be dropping your full $59.99 on it from the get-go. Moving on from that, Games Industry International recently ran a report where it spoke to several analysts, and specifically they talked to Michael Pachter, and he's talked a lot about the gaming industry, and specifically he mentioned that he thinks that Respawn will be releasing Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order this year. He specifically noted that Fallen Order should follow shortly behind Titanfall 3, and it should come possibly in time for the release of Star Wars Episode 9 later this year. This is a little bit surprising to me. Michael Pachter is sometimes on point, and he does have a generally good idea of the gaming industry, but at the same time, I think Respawn putting out Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in the same calendar year, that's a big ask. Now, I imagine that Respawn has been hard at work on both of these games for a while, but that means you're segregating Respawn into two separate studios working on two separate games, and Titanfall 2 was released back in 2016, and I would find it a little bit surprising if EA gave the go-ahead for Respawn to continue working on Titanfall 3 that ambitiously alongside Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I would think that EA would want Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order out the door first, but that's just my speculation. Michael Pachter obviously believes that he thinks Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order would be released this year. Also, moving on from that, I quickly want to note that the Dreams closed beta signups are live right now. We'll leave a link in the description box down below where you can check it out for yourself. A lot of gamers have been excited for this. There was a lot of ambiguity on whether or not this was actually going to be happening. For a long time, Media Molecule was saying that it was going to kick off before 2018, and then we heard nothing about it. But now we can finally confirm that Media Molecule has the closed beta signups live right now. Again, to register for them, we'll leave links in the description box down below for EU and US. Moving on from that, and speaking of PlayStation exclusives, we've also gotten some information on The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer. Everything we've heard about The Last of Us Part 2 has been centered around the single player mode, and of course The Last of Us is primarily a single player experience, but it did have a pretty good multiplayer component as well. And The Last of Us Part 2 will have multiplayer as well, and the job description gives us a pretty good idea of something to expect out of the multiplayer of the game. Here it is. Quote, "We are looking for a server programmer who loves constructing a scalable, stable, and secure ecosystem of services for players to enjoy. You will usher them through the entire multiplayer experience from first login through matchmaking, and then granting rewards players can use to customize their characters in the store. As one of the caretakers of the live environment, you will be a critical part of the team that launches the game's services." So it does look like Sony might be trying to monetize The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer experience. I don't have a big issue with that as long as it's scaled well. If there's some crazy gameplay incentives, obviously I'm not a big fan of that, but as far as cosmetics go, that's fine, and it does look like The Last of Us Part 2 will include a character customization based on this job listing. And finally, you guys know how big I've been on PlayStation VR. I want to give a shout out to another game that's coming to PSVR in February, and that is The Mage's Tale. The Mage's Tale was a game that was released on PC VR platforms around 18 months ago, and now it's coming to PlayStation VR, and the game is actually set in the world of the Bard's Tale. It's touted as a pretty expansive dungeon crawler set in the world of Bard's Tale, and it allows you to wield elemental magic and begin your journey from apprentice to master. This does look to be one of the more expansive VR titles, and dungeon crawling RPGs is something I think PlayStation VR could do pretty well. Again, exactly, that'll be coming on February 5th. So that's gonna conclude this video. Again, you can check out Amplitude right now on the PlayStation Store. It's available for PlayStation 4 users as well, so that's something to give a look to. Hitman HD Collection will be dropping next week on January 11th, but it'll be dropping at a hefty $59.99. Do not buy this at launch. Wait for a sale, and even then, I think you should wait until it's at the bargain bin. Unfortunately, it will be a digital-only release, so they'll kind of have full control on the pricing of the game, but $59.99 is absolutely absurd. Michael Pachter is saying that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Titanfall 3 might be put out by Respawn this year. That's a little bit surprising to me. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Dreams, the creator closed beta signups are live right now. Links in the description box down below. It looks like The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer will have character customization, and The Mage's Tale is coming to PlayStation VR in February. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.